To our original tonight with in-depth reporting on a topic we've been watching. And tonight it's one we've been following for months. A prison system at a breaking point in New York State. Multiple high-profile deaths in custody and a big strike leading to understaffing across facilities. Just a few of the challenges facing New York. But today, a new initiative announced by the former attorney general there and the father of Robert Brooks, a man killed by corrections officers late last year. Our Dan Slepian sat down with Brooks's father and the commissioner of the Department of Corrections. We want to warn you, he also unearthed some disturbing, never-before-seen footage of another incident, violence at the hands of officers inside a prison. Here's the story.
Pull your hands in that cell. Officer Grant, strike him at the time.
This video, obtained by NBC News, has never been seen by the public. It's from 2013, recorded in a New York State prison. What it reveals is a system that has been in crisis for years.
Strike him with that baton.
The man behind that steel door, Timothy Dixon.
Why didn't you just put your hands back in the cell when they told you to?
That was my way of protesting.
At the time, Dixon says he was locked in solitary confinement with another man.
There's another person in there with you.
And he's in solitary too. That's called the double bump.
23 hours a day.
23 hours. I said, yo, no, I don't belong with nobody in here, right?
According to official records, Dixon says he told officers that he was having problems with his cellmate, but they ignored him. So he protested by dangling his arms through a slot meant to pass him food.
Strike him with that baton.
An official incident report says Dixon was struck 10 times. 5 hits to the right wrist, 4 to the left, and once on the right elbow. The use of force, it says, was authorized and videotaped by a corrections officer.
It's really, really tough to watch.
Yes, but that's the reality. Some of the things that happen, and that I think that they could have handled that different, but they went to the extreme.
Dixon was released last year after serving more than 30 years for murder. He sued the state, alleging personal injury and medical malpractice. Now, the state's attorney tells NBC News it's in the midst of finalizing a settlement agreement. Dixon lived to tell his story. Robert Brooks did not. This video, recorded just 8 months ago, is silent. A handcuffed man, 43-year-old Robert Brooks, beaten by corrections officers in a New York State prison until he died from brain trauma and choking on his own blood.
Nobody has given me a justification for why they jumped on my son.
Robert Ricks is his father.
Nobody has been able to tell me anything that my son did to provoke what happened.
What happened to his son last December ignited a firestorm, forcing a long overdue reckoning about prison abuse. The beating at New York's Marcy Correctional Facility was filmed by the officers, but they didn't mean to record it. Their body cameras were not activated. A fail-safe override captured what they thought the world would never see. What are you feeling while you're watching that?
I'm feeling guilt. I'm feeling shame. Like I could have did something different.
It's not your fault.
I know, but
his father has dedicated his life to helping kids. For 3 decades, he's run a program for at-risk youth in Rochester, New York. Still, he couldn't save his own son from prison. Brooks was serving 12 years for assault. He had less than 2 years left before coming home.
He was focused on coming home.
Brooks had been transferred to Marcy Correctional less than an hour before he was killed. After the video became public, 10 corrections officers were arrested, most charged with either murder or manslaughter. All pleaded not guilty, except one. Christopher Walrath accepted a manslaughter charge. Last week, he was sentenced to 15 years. In court, the district attorney revealed what caused the attack.
Absolutely nothing. This was a simple welcome to Marcy.
4 months after Brooks was killed, across the street at another prison, Messiah Nantwi was also beaten to death. 10 more officers charged with crimes ranging from murder to conspiracy.
Video of what happens inside prisons and jails is remarkably rare.
Jennifer Scaife is the executive director of the Correctional Association of New York, which monitors the state's prisons.
We urge the executive and the legislature to take...
She says the excessive use of force cases that we know of are just the beginning.
That kind of animosity between staff and incarcerated people goes back decades. What was new is the publicity.
Commissioner Dan Marticello is in charge of the New York State prison system. He's been in the job less than 2 years.
Let's talk about the Robert Brooks video.
So when I first saw that video, I was actually sick to my stomach. It was sickening.
Officers are in that room like this is normal behavior. Is that what you thought?
Oh, no, yeah, absolutely. If you were to ask me, do I think this is an isolated incident, watching that video gives me pause because they feel very comfortable in what they're doing.
The commissioner says the moment he heard that Brooks had died, he took action.
That video is out there because of the work of my Office of Special Investigations, and that we identified that video and gave it to the Attorney General, because nobody's above the law, and we'll hold those people accountable.
2 months after Brooks was killed, the commissioner faced another crisis, this one statewide.
Forced to work 24 hours straight.
Corrections officers upset over working conditions and a new law limiting solitary confinement staged an illegal strike that spread to nearly every prison.
At the height of it, we had approximately 10,000 people on strike.
The strike forced Governor Kathy Hochul to deploy 6,000 National Guard troops to keep the system from collapsing. The corrections union didn't support the strike, but released its own report just last week, saying it was the result of dismal working conditions that have been deteriorating for years.
The strike is over. The crisis is not.
How many officers are you down now?
We're down just shy of 5,000.
We also asked the commissioner about the 2013 video of Timothy Dixon.
Obviously, watching that is absolutely inappropriate. Definitely not happening today under our policies.
Why does there need to be a regulation to tell people not to do that?
Yeah, no, that's should have never happened.
He's supporting an independent review of the entire agency and focusing on transparency and accountability. And he says ending violence and rebuilding lives must go hand in hand.
With the progressive programs that we offered, that there are real opportunities for people to succeed and transform their lives. And we see it when they go to the community.
The solution, he says, all comes down to human dignity.
People come there as punishment, not for punishment. And we have a path forward.
Brooks's father has a path forward, too.
Once this happened to my son, I was just like, I have to do something.
He's turning his pain into purpose, teaming up with former New York State Attorney General Eric Schneiderman to launch the End Prison Violence campaign.
There was really no organized campaign about the epidemic of violence against prisoners in New York State.
They're pushing for new legislation that focuses on changes from improving prison conditions to installing more cameras. They've called it the Robert Brooks Agenda for Justice.
Our first order of business is pressing the governor to make sure she signs the bill.
As lawmakers debate policy, a father holds on to memories and now has a new mission.
I believe that my son is in heaven looking down on me saying, go, Dad, go, Dad. Do what you need to do to change this because it's ugly.
And I want to bring in Dan Slepian, who is joining us now. Dan, thank you for being with us. Based on your reporting, of course, do you have any sense of how pervasive this kind of violence is throughout the prison system?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, Hallie. And unfortunately, the answer is no one really knows, especially because the video, like you saw, of those incidents in this piece is extraordinarily rare to get. But I can tell you, having reported on the system for 20 years, I've spent hundreds of days inside facilities. I know many formerly incarcerated people and currently incarcerated people, and none of them who I've spoken to is particularly surprised to see this video. I mean, of course, they're shocked and disgusted by seeing it, but they're not surprised because this violent culture is part of the DNA of the system, is what they say. And it's an us versus them mentality on both sides, incarcerated people towards officers and officers towards incarcerated people, and that violent culture is exactly what the commissioner is trying to change.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.